Renters have rights. That's what county leaders want the thousands of residents who are tenants to know. The campaign kicked off at the Pooks Hill Tower in Bethesda.
It's really something that is very, very, very important to our county.
And it's the result of recent legislation passed by the council that steps up housing inspections and tenant advocacy. Legislation that was years in the making.
This is what matters with legislation. It's one thing to pass a law. It's another thing to talk about a law. It's another thing to actually go sit down and do the work to make it happen. So I'm thrilled that we're actually doing active outreach to people and letting them know that this is there.
I remember many years ago when I was a council member and working within a council member from Tacoma Park, Mark Eldred, who at that time was advocating in Tacoma Park for the rights of tenants. He has never stopped that advocacy. It is incumbent upon county government and all levels of government within and around this region to provide safe and adequate housing for all of our residents.
The updated law enhances code enforcement by requiring every multifamily dwelling be inspected every 2 years. Those results will be used to put together a list of problem properties that will be inspected on an annual basis.
The inspection program is pure gold. If we go through this county, we do all the buildings, we focus on the older ones and the ones with the most violations, we can bring this housing stock up to a level of decency that it has not been at in many, many years. And once it's there, we can keep it there.
What is most important to Montgomery County's economic success is a workforce that has a safe place to live, that is accessible, and that's well maintained. This legislation goes a long way, we think, with the changes that we've made and the improvements that everyone has offered to ensure that that will happen.
People should realize Montgomery County is upwards of 40% renter now, and growing. If you look in downtown Silver Spring, Bethesda, or Rockville, what you will see is apartment houses being built. So what we need is to make sure, again, that tenants are secure, that they live in quality homes, that they can afford their homes, and that they can predict their rents year in and year out.
The Renters Have Rights campaign directs tenants to call 311 if they have complaints or questions about their properties. The advice is free and confidential.
This is a great day for Montgomery County's 300,000.
Councilmember Tom Hucker is one of the co-sponsors of the bill.
Breaking news, a massive fire in Maryland taking down an apartment complex.
Last summer's fatal explosion at the Flower Branch Apartments was in his district.
For too long, we've been hearing about a lot of severe problems in our aging housing stock, and no one in Montgomery County should have to put up with mold and mildew, with rats and roaches, and too often we don't hear from our tenants. So I'm really confident that this three-pronged approach, making sure our tenants know that they have rights, making sure they know they can call 311 to bring those problems to the county government, and making sure that we have the housing inspectors on the ground to get into these problem properties. I'm really confident that's going to improve the lives of thousands of people in Montgomery County.
Having aging housing is actually a terrific community resource. Aging housing can be more affordable than new housing, but not if it falls into disrepair, not if it's neglected, not if it's not maintained. So what we can do through this legislation is ensure that our vast stock of aging housing nevertheless stays current with the quality that it provides for the residents of our community.
For more information on the Renters Have Rights campaign, visit the county's Department of Housing and Community Affairs website. In Bethesda, I'm Susan Kennedy for County Report This Week.